Hey YouTube, today is just going to be kind of a kickback, relaxed type of video. I just wanted to do some general tank maintenance, switch a few things up, water changes, that sort of thing. So, you know, hang out with me and let's get to work. Alright, fish room maintenance day. Be doing water changes, trying to tidy up some tanks, and just general fish duties. So as you can see, I'm pumping out the water in this one. And I'm probably going to trim this nice mushroom cloud of stargrass and sell that off. You can see this random green plant that I don't know what it is needs to be trimmed. Need to tidy up the lobelia back there. Probably cut that stem and replant it. Get rid of. Got a lot of algae here that I need to get rid of. I need to replant this crypt, but we'll see if I actually get around to doing that today. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to trim the stargrass here. I have my handy dandy multi-tool, and I'm going to get to work. Just kidding. I have my actual tools here. I'm going to take pretty much the whole top of this thing off. You know what? This is going to take forever. Let me grab some real scissors. Really tear through this stuff. Alright, look at this clump of stargrass. This should give me some pretty good money right here. See how much that is? Oh yeah. Gonna find some sort of bucket. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. This is basically a bad clump. I'll throw that out. I might actually get a full gallon of this stuff. It's gonna look pretty haggard for a while, probably about a week. It'll all grow back. Okay. Got the stargrass out. Time to get all this algae out of here. Guess I'll see how much of a mess this is gonna make. Man, it's in there pretty good. So this is all like Eco Complete and crushed coral. This is actually soil. That wasn't so bad. Look how many times I'm going to be able to split this up. Alright, had to move the pump to another tank, but actually I don't know if I want to split this up. That's a pretty nice little chunk. Maybe I'll just split it in two. Oh, so one of these laying around. So this stuff is not grown for me at all, so hopefully this will. See if I can get another chunk out of here. Oh man, this is gonna be a mondo chunk. It's gonna get messy. Oh look, also got some of this Crypt Florida Sunset in here, hopefully. Yep, nice. Not the most expensive crypt, but you know, they're like 12 bucks a plant. Nice to see that spreading. Alright, so it doesn't look that great right now, but eventually all this should spread. It is a crypt, so it'll probably take forever. But that's alright. The stargrass will regrow and get bushy again, so that'll look good. I don't know, I might sell that piece of Willisii, and then I ended up with an extra piece, pretty good looking piece of the Florida Sunset, which is this big crypt right here. So maybe I'll sell both of those and some stargrass. But now I'm gonna move on to the next tank. Well, I'll start, still gonna do a little bit of water change on here. A little bit more water to drain out. So the 125 here, I'm gonna be making some changes to. So this used to run an overflow into the sump down below, which is still just sitting there. However, the overflow box sprung a leak, and so I threw in the sponge filter for the night, and then the next day I threw on some old hang on the back filters, and I'm probably just going to put another one on that end and just run 3 hang on back filters, because one, I don't want to buy another overflow box, and 2, it'll just be easier. This has actually been running with 2 hang on the backs and one sponge filter for over a month now with no problem. So obviously filtration is fine. Got the splash tetras in here. Maybe kind of, I threw this piece of wood in here just because this was the only tank it would fit in when I took it out of the 75. So maybe I'll actually do something with that. I don't know. And I might as well show the monthly spawn of the Honduran red points here. I might take a big scoop of these guys out since they're right there eating off the sponge filter. It'll be really easy to get a bunch of them. Maybe, maybe. Alright, so I scooped them out. There's still just a ton of them in here, hundreds. But I easily scooped out 50 of them. See if we can see him. Yep, there's a little guy right there. Another one there. Some have made their way down here. Put that big clump of Christmas moss I pulled out in here. So they should have plenty of whatever it is that they eat to eat. And now I'm going to get back to work on the 125. I'm going to put that new aquarium filter I got is going to go on that side. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so I moved the sponge filter over to this side in the back there. Got the new fancy aquarium installed on the back. Don't forget to put in your LED, your fancy LED that reminds you when you need to spend more money, because it doesn't come installed. You actually have to put that in there. Also, these guys here you have to put in. This I think is pretty neat. This is definitely an improvement over the older one, which doesn't have it. And yeah, you can see how nasty that is. I'll be replacing those. In case you didn't know, I just make my own. I just use batting from the quilt store. Make sure it's not flame retardant if you're going to make your own. Alright, I figure I'm going to show you guys how nasty this is. I didn't change these last week, so this is just after 2 weeks. Oops. Doesn't that look yummy? As you can see, I just cut up batting and use a rubber band to hold it on. So yeah, gonna go change this stuff out. Rinse this off. It's getting pretty gnarly. Only gotta clean that every couple of months. Okay, so I got this guy somewhat rinsed out. Got the new batting on there. And that's basically how I do all my hang on the backs. Normally I change it every week, but I was feeling lazy last week. That's why I was a little more slimy than usual. So my 75-gallon Cichlid tank here is going to be the last tank I mess with today. And I'm just going to rearrange the rocks. I like just keeping them on their toes every once in a while. Usually every 1 to 2 months I'll just rearrange it, shake things up a bit. All my other tanks are just going to get normal water changes, so yeah, just going to move around the rocks in here and then fill her back up. Alright, so just a quick recap here. We can see I've got the Crypt Willisii kind of spread across the front. Got the stargrass trimmed back, and so just a lot more swimming room for these guys. You kind of see the effects of the stargrass as it kind of starves everything out below it. So definitely something you got to keep trimming on, or you're going to get stems like this. So I'll probably replant that, cut it and replant it. And the 125 is starting to get cleared up. Still fry coming back out. Plants aren't doing so hot in this tank, but not too worried about it right now. Got all 3 filters up and running. The loaches I got, what was it, a month and a half ago maybe, still alive and well. And then on this one, you can see I just kind of restacked all the rocks to give some room up front. I noticed the male featherfin was trying to dig out a pit, but he didn't have enough room because I had all the rocks just all across the bottom. So now hopefully he'll have enough room to make himself a nice little hole, and maybe they'll breed for me. So nothing too spectacular, just kind of what I do. I always pick a couple tanks to change up when I'm doing my water changes. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this video. You know, just pretty typical day in the fish room. I always pick a couple of tanks to redo when I'm doing water changes and just kind of change around, and keeps it interesting for me, and I don't know, I find it pretty fun. For those who stuck around to the end, I will kind of sign you off with my puffer eating. For those of you that just cheated and skipped to the end, you're going to be able to catch that too. So thanks for watching guys, and on to the puffer.